What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Lagunitas Brewing Company, and they are headquartered in Petaluma, California, and this is their Born Yesterday, the 2024 release. So this is a fresh hop ale that comes in at 7.2% alcohol by volume, 60 IBUs, I think, and at the time of review, this bottle is approximately 1 month old. So did Lagunitas listen to us? I think they may have listened to the consumers who said, bring this one back every single year, because last year when I reviewed this beer, I talked about how we all want this beer every year. Last year's release, the 2023, was the first time they released it since 2020. It was the first time I had it since 2019. It was quite tasty. Wasn't as good as the 2019 version, which I gave it 4.62, but I did give it a 4.2. Thought it was really highly enjoyable. So I grabbed a bottle of this year's offering, and here we are, and it's the rare, not only re-review, but this is the third time I'm reviewing this beer, and I think I can count on one hand the amount of times I've reviewed the same beer 3 separate times, but I feel like every year I should review this beer along with Sierra Nevada's Celebration. Just a couple of those beers where it's just like every year you got to drink it, you got to review it, so here we are. Now, as far as the hop bill is concerned, I don't know exactly. On Untappd, they do list the 2024 version, and they do say that it is brewed with Simcoe, Citra, Mosaic, and HBC-586 hops, which are now known as Krush hops. That was the same hop bill from last year, so I don't know if it's the same thing or we just don't have any updated information. Regardless, I'm here for it. So let's crack this one open. This one's always tasty to varying degrees, so I think I'm going to enjoy this one, and I can't wait to see how this year's version hits me. Hope it hits me extremely well. I always use the Firestone Walker Tiku because this is the third time reviewing it. I reviewed the first 2 in this class. We're going to keep it consistent. So it has that haziness to it. The last, I feel like the first time I had this, it wasn't hazy, right? Or maybe it was the first time I didn't have it, it was hazy, and then every single time after that, it was definitely hazy. So, oh my God. Here's the thing too. I wish there was more fresh hop ales. Here in the Western New York area, we don't see a lot. I'm jealous of everybody who's like, oh, this local brewery put out their fresh hop ale. I just don't see it. And that's a bummer, because fresh hop ales are fantastic. And if you want to know about fresh hop ales, in the description box, I'll post what they have on the website. But you just go to the website. You can check out their Born Yesterday. They have a couple different paragraphs, and they talk about what the fresh hop actually means. It's, basically they get the hops as fresh as possible. So anyway, that has that beautiful hazy honey orange color. Had about a finger of a bright white soap sudsy looking head, now dissipated to about half a finger. Hold up to the light. Yeah, it's murky, it's turbid, you can't see through it. It looks fucking awesome. I would say the only deterrent to this one as far as the appearance goes is the fact that the head, got to swirl it up a little bit, but it is going away. But it looks awesome. It really does. So let's get a nose. Oh, yes. So the one thing about the 2023 version compared to the 2019 version, I'm going to be comparing those two along with this one because they were vastly different. The 2019 was way more dank and boisterous and just like in your face. The 2023 was a little bit dialed back, still delicious, but that dank quality wasn't as big. It didn't seem to have that punch that the 2019 had. In the nose here, it's this crazy dank orange. Like it's like a dank orange juice. Oh my God. It's dank, has a little bit of resinous pine, but it's orange, it's grapefruit. There might be a little bit of like a nondescript red berry, probably from the Mosaic. Touch of pineapple, but oh my God, it just smells really fresh. And I know that sounds stupid to say because it says fresh hop ale, but it really does. It smells like instead of a month old, this is a week old. Holy shit. It just, so orange, grapefruit, sweeter, juicier, kind of like dank orange. The grapefruit's a little bit of a pithy, kind of maybe like a ruby red grapefruit, a little bit sweeter, but like it's still more pithy. And then the pineapple and red berry are producing a nice sweetness. If you hear that, that's leaves blowing around because it is quite windy right now. Yeah, this smells fucking dynamite. Like, it doesn't smell overly complex, but it just smells, it's like dank orange juice. That's the best way I can describe this one. It smells fucking divine. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. Yes, thank you for returning Lagunitas this beer to us this year, but also for bringing back that like dank quality that I really remember from yesteryear of this beer. It is fucking crazy dank. It is quite bitter. it has this resinous kind of hop character on the finish that's just lingering. Yeah. So they used to call this a fresh hop pale ale. They kind of removed the pale portion to just say fresh hop ale. This always drank more like an IPA to me. So whether this is classified as a fresh hop American pale ale or hazy pale ale or hazy IPA or American IPA, whatever the case may be, it's clearly hazy, and it's 7.2%, and it's just fucking delicious. This version is kind of reminiscent of the 2019. It's definitely a little bit more intense than last year, which I welcome. Anyway, the body, a little bit thin though. Body's like medium, maybe a touch under medium, so 7.2, maybe a little bit thin. The mouthfeel is nice. It's crisp. It's smooth. It's very easy to drink. It's just, it goes down extremely easy on the palate. What's beautiful about this beer, at least for this year's release, it doesn't have, I've said this about a couple beers over the past couple months on my channel, but this doesn't have the complexity that maybe some people seek out. Or maybe it doesn't have the complexity that my terrible palate can pick out. But what it lacks in complexity makes up for in the intensity of flavors and what's on the palate. And it's so different than the 2019 and 2023, but in a great way. So right up front, it's a mixture of orange and grapefruit. And it's like an orange or grapefruit kind of juice. It's not overly sweet. So it's like more grapefruit juice than probably orange, or like a 50-50 split where you're like cutting the orange with the grapefruit juice. So it has a little bit of like bitterness and not as overtly sweet. But that hits me right in the front of the palate. Passes through, I get a little bit like a rind, zesty kind of orange and pineapple, or grapefruit character. Midway through the palate, touch of pineapple, touch of berry. Very, very minute though. I'm kind of reaching for it. And then the finish, it's huge. Like the dank quality of this one is very big. It's quite dank, quite bitter, pretty fucking dry, and it has this lingering resinous pine floral dankness to it. Really, really nice. What's funny is I did not go back to look at my reviews from 2019 and 2023 outside of just seeing what I gave them rating wise. I know I gave the 2019 higher than the 2023. 2019 was 4.6. 2023 was 4.2. This right now, as I'm tasting, is somewhere in between those two. Last year's was really good. Don't get me wrong. It was a delicious, tasty, fresh hop ale. The problem that I had was it didn't have the intensity of the 2019, especially when it came to the dankness. This has brought that dankness and that resinous pine and the bitterness and the dryness and everything to the forefront, which is very reminiscent of 2019, but it's lacking in the complexity and the fruit character that was in the 2023. So again, it's somewhere in between the two, but this is better than last year's for me personally. It's a really tasty beer. Yeah, it's dank. It's dank orange and grapefruit juice to me, with a little bit of accentuation of like pineapple and nondescript red berry. Semi to full on dry, moderately bitter, and just again, very dank. This one leans more bitter and dank than it does sweet. If you're somebody who likes dank and bitter beers and you're not a huge sweetness person when it comes to like hazies or IPAs nowadays, grab this one. You'll get that, that orange and grapefruit juice up front, but man, the second half of the palate is just a completely different beast than the first half. So this is delicious. 7.2%. Can't even tell. Not even warming it in my chest. It's just Lagunitas at its finest. That's what this beer is. They need to release this one every year. They have listened to us apparently this year, but hopefully they bring it back going forward every year, because I'll review it every year, just like I'm hopefully going to do the same for Celebration. I got to grab a can of Celebration at some point here in the next week or so. But yeah, this is just another tasty Born Yesterday. Yeah, not much more to say about it. So Born Yesterday, the 2024 release from Lagunitas, all day, every day. I'm going to give this a low 4.5 and go 4.4. I'm going to split the 2023 and 2019 ratings. 4.4 all day, so low 4.5 out of 5. Again, this brings that dankness, the resinous pine intensity I got from 2019, but it dialed back a little bit on the fruity juiciness of the 2023, which I think it lands it in a really good spot. It really does. But I still think the 2019 is my favorite of all of the releases I've had over the years. Anyway, price point availability, I paid like $2.75 for that bottle, something like that, maybe $3. I do know that 6-packs are typically in like the $13 to $14 realm here in the Western New York area. Probably a little bit cheaper in your neck of the woods if you're out west. If you're maybe like up in the New England region or maybe down south or something, might be a little bit more expensive. But I would assume somewhere in like the $12 to like $16 realm for this is probably what you're looking at. 7.2% fresh hop ale, all day, every day. Like paying, $2 to $2.50 for a bottle of that, and even getting a single like I did for $2.75, $3, I can't really complain. Shout out to Chris over at Brewed and Bottled for having this readily available. I went in there recently and I was just grabbing a couple beers, and yeah, this is, I was like, wow, this is already in or whatever, and it's already a month old, but like a lot of times with Born Yesterday and like even Celebration for Sierra Nevada, we usually don't see them until they're like 6 weeks old, and it's kind of frustrating, but this was a month old and I'm here for it. So that was the other thing to keep in mind. 2019 was like just over like 3.5 weeks old. And then last year's was just under 5 weeks old, or maybe right around 5 weeks. This is right around a month old. Maybe the freshness does play different from, 3 to 3.5 to 4 to 5. I don't know. I just know this is dank orange and grapefruit juice for me all day long. Delicious fucking beer. Great release of this one. If you like this one every single year, seek this one out if you haven't grabbed it yet. I think you'll enjoy it. And if you've had this one already this year, post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it, because again, I think it's fucking delicious. So I'm going to shut this one down, go drink the rest of that. I mean, I've fucking drank half of it on camera already, so I should have bought a couple more bottles. I'm a fucking idiot. Anyway, I'm going to shut this one down. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Till the next one. Cheers.